Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala, peace be to the nation of Israel, whom automated they so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speckled Israelites scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great, and we are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, just want to give all praise, glory, and infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of living, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai Barach Kodash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten and anointed Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who was our strength and our Redeemer, our light and our salvation. In the same time, we'll go to utter Mashana, Kabawadim Lahasakwanium, Shalak Gadawarakab, meaning double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone and true shepherds of Israel, along with the like-minded Sequani will occupy across the four corners of the earth. Also pushing the sound doctrine, faith, truth, and sincerity. And Shalom, honor and salutations to Bayashadawadah, the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elect, men, women, and children of Israel. And this is your fellow servant, Malak Rayab, back at it again with another prophetic update within this last world's war, Hamagad of these war drums beating louder and louder of these rumors of wars prophesied in St. Matthew 24th chapter. Our Lord and Savior, Hamashiach Shai, have further prophesied as a further ensign of the downfall of the wicked and his final return to redeem us from these curses, all right, deliver us from our enemies and bring us into the kingdom of heaven, all right. So as you can see here, it's untitled on NBC San Diego. It says Iran has the largest ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East, now sending them to Russia. All right, the Middle East, as we know, is modern day Asia. All right, the land biblically known as Yahweh Shaphat in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, running Euphrates River, the Persian Gulf, the Gulf of Aden, the Red Sea, the Arabian Sea, and so forth. Okay, that's the area where the armies, these heathen nations, are gonna battle each other before they ultimately and simultaneously battle Hamashiach Habashai, the Alahayim, and the Bayashadawadah. All right, so they're their largest ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East on behalf of Iran. Includes their Fateh-110 model, as you can see here. So the Fateh-110 missile has an effective range of about 190 miles and is known to be highly accurate and has been used in strikes from Iran into Iraq, Syria, and Pakistan. Says, meanwhile, the future of U.S. military aid for Ukraine looks increasingly uncertain. Why? Because there's a lot of opposition in the West, okay, including the Republicans and such, against the wishes of, the wicked elite, essentially, having these puppets, fund these proxy wars, including the Ukrainian proxy war, which is really being used to further expand eastward into Russian territory on behalf of the U.S. and NATO. And the former Russian president, Dmitry Medvedev, threatened to annihilate London, the U.S., and a few other territories if Russia was to lose this proxy war in Ukraine, because that would further confirm that the U.S. and NATO were successfully able to further expand eastward into Russian territory. All right, and that would further threaten Russia's national security, and they can't have that. So now here you have big bad Iran aiding Russia, and that's not a secret, because this is prophesied in Ezekiel 38th chapter how the modern day inhabitants of Magog, the Russians, will be a guard into the modern day Persians of the nation Elam. All right, these so-called Iranians. All right, because they're prophesied to further engage in warfare against the whore, America, Babylon the Great, and destroy this place. So, says Iranian material support such as drones has kept Putin fighting Ukraine for much longer than expected. Ballistic missiles will keep him in that fight for longer now, one analyst told CNBC. So jumping down here, all right, under the section. Says, what does Iran get in return? Tehran's relationship with Moscow pays off for its government. Already heavily sanctioned by the U.S. and the EU, weapons trade with Russia is a value source of revenue for the Islamic Republic. All right, FDD's Ben Taliblu describes reports of cash and gold transfers, Western conventional weapons transfers, fighter jet deals, and even assistance with Iran's space program from Russia. For a risk-tolerant Islamic Republic, the partnership with Russia continued to bear fruit. All right. Analysts note that the several rounds of Western sanctions on Iran, which have helped cripple its economy, have not been enough to deter it from continuing to sell Russia the lethal weapons it uses in Ukraine. It also stands to gain new military hardware itself. So I'm going to grab this first precept in Ezekiel 30:81. It says, "In the word of the Lord Yahweh came into me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And thus, say, thus said the Lord God Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." All right, which are, modern day, weapons. These modern day swords are, these, these projectiles and firearms and, ballistic missiles and so forth. Okay, like it says in Isaiah 95, man. Okay, old-fashioned battles, traditional battles were fought within matter of fact, let me go and grab it real quick. Isaiah 95. "For every battle the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And this is going to bring forth a lake of fire, that second death, that the wicked will bathe in for taking the mark of the beast, a microchip." All right. So this is back in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All right. And back in Ezekiel 38, continuing in verse 5, it says, "Persia," okay, all right, the modern day Iranians, okay, the Islamic Republic, okay, otherwise known as the IRGC, says, "Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them." All right. So Russia, the modern inhabitants of Magog, okay, the Medes, okay, going to be guard into Iran, Turkey, okay, prophesied in this very chapter, Ezekiel 38 chapter, okay, Ethiopia, and so forth. So this last world war is going to cause the nations to choose a side. All right. And this is Obadiah, verse 7. "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread and have laid a wound unto thee, there is none understanding in him." All right. Because you devils have been unruly and untrustworthy within your international dealings of geopolitical business, all right, geoeconomical business, especially, as well as within your military industrial complex, to where your spirit of bondage prophesied in Isaiah 19 chapter is wearing off, okay, within this wicked covering cast of the entire earth, America, the great whore, full of abominations, okay, whoredom, other sexual perversions and acts of decadence, okay, including sodomy, okay, feminism, modern day Queen of Heaven, Semiramis worship, which is not condoned in many places across the pond, especially within the dragons of Arabia. Okay, that's why when that nigga bitch went down there and was acting a fool in Dubai, they incarcerated that bitch. You see? So the reason why these nations, okay, have deceived thee, okay, and will prevail against thee, okay, is because of the wine of fornication, of them being drunk of the wine of fornication, and it's having its ramifications against these nations, man. Okay, to the point to where they want to take it out on you. They want retribution for all the many times you have compromised their sovereignty, that much more further through these war provocations, through these sanctions and whatnot, and that includes these 500 sanctions these devils just released on Russia as of recently. We're going to get that. This is on BBC News. It says U.S. targets Russia with more than 500 new sanctions. All right, the U.S. has announced more than 500 new sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine and the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Okay, and this is why Medvedev, as reported on Daily Mail, okay, with an article entitled "Russia Warns It Could Accidentally Start a Nuclear War as Impotent Western Leaders Miscalculate the Risk of World War III, days after threatening to nuke London and Washington if it loses in Ukraine." A close Vladimir Putin aide and former president today warned the West that Russia is capable of starting nuclear war by accident. Is obviously he's being facetious because when we know goddamn accident, because he hates Babylon. Okay, going further line, going to say Mark the 3rd chapter, or in Isaiah the 19th chapter. How does the division with the new Edomites? All right. So it says Dmitry Medvedev, now deputy head of Putin's Security Council, told impudent Western leaders they are miscalculating the risk of nuclear war, both as a deliberate decision by Putin and a terrifying accident. This very clock, which is ticking in a certain direction, has now accelerated very much, Medvedev warned, gesturing towards the clear threat to all humanity. And in this, I also see the the impotence of these Western authorities. All right. You know, speaking of the clock you mentioned, doomsday clock is just I believe it just moved up 90 seconds to midnight. So it's getting closer and closer to, the point of no return, to further indicate the near destruction of the great horde that sits upon many waters. Okay, spreading wickedness. All right. Jumping down. It says it comes just days after the ex-president threatened Russia could nuke the UK, US, Ukraine, and its backers if Russia is forced to concede occupied territories. Meaning what? If this goes into more detail in the following paragraph. Attempts to restore Russia's 1991 borders will lead only to one thing: a global war with Western countries with the use of our entire strategic nuclear arsenal against Kiev, Berlin, London, and Washington. Okay, Washington is one of the 3 unclean frogs prophesied in Revelation, the 16th chapter. Okay, representing, really on behalf of the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, representing Esau's sword through the military-industrial complex. Okay, so it's not a coincidence that they're being threatened to be nuked. Okay, because that's a major component of this Edomite hegemony. So it says, right here. And against all other beautiful historic places that have long been included in the flight targets of our nuclear triad. Okay? He said on Sunday, referring to Russia's range of nuclear weapons. So he facetiously said, or mentioned the beautiful historic places that have long been included in the flight targets of our nuclear triad. So he's talking shit, man. he's really puffing his chest out and talking that big boy shit. Like, we're gonna destroy you, man. That's what he's saying. This is the rumors of wars prophesied in St. Matthew 24th chapter, because these heathen nations, the kings and princes of these heathen nations, are tired of playing with you, with America and NATO. Okay, and this is why they're banding together with Iran, and they've been had an alliance. Okay, so this is why your enemies no longer can confederate with you, man. Because you devils cannot have enough. You want global dominion. This is why, another reason why they're no longer confederate with you, or how they're no longer confederate with you, is by acting diplomatic in the public, while meanwhile they're conspiring to destroy you behind the closed doors. And this is a part of the conspiracy to do so, reporting this article on behalf of Iran supplying Russia with these weapons they will use against you devils, man, and your armies in this last world's war. Okay. So it says, so matter of fact, let me get this next precept. 2nd Esdras 15 and start at verse 29. It reads, where the nations, start at verse 28, Salak. It says, behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. Okay. Same area mentioned in the article, so-called Middle East. All right. It says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and a multitude of them shall be carried as a wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And the Carmanians are referring to the Iranians, all right, the so-called Persians of the nation Elam, all right, and them wasting a portion of the land of the Assyrians referring to the bloody nation in Nahum the 3rd chapter, all right, because America has many aliases, and Assyria is one of them, as a modern day Assyria. And this is why, speaking of blood, this is Psalm chapter 55, verse 23. And it reads, "But thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction." This is exactly where you devils are going. And you're literally going to be underground like pits, in your little underground bunkers, prophesied in Revelation 6 chapter, hiding like hoes, okay? Cowards from Yahweh Shai, the Allahim and Bayashadabadah, okay? Then in Isaiah 24 chapter, you will go into that pit. And then we eventually gonna burn you devils up, okay? Pursuing Obadiah, release Obadiah the 18th verse and similar precepts, where you devils, will no longer exist. That's gonna be a celebration in itself in the kingdom, man. Okay, because you devils you're self-destructive, man. Pursuing the Sirach 14 and 5. Only a madman and a fool will poison poison the air supply that he has to breathe in and the water he has to drink. Okay, and this is why you devils are being prepared to be destroyed. Okay, this is Psalm 55 and 23. "But thou, O power, shall bring them down to the pit of destruction. Bloody, deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I would trust in thee." All right, because pursuing the book of Job and similar precepts. All right, the days of you devils ruling this earth and wickedness is coming to a standstill, man. Okay, that's why you coming down with great wrath, knowing you have but a short time. 2nd Ezra 15 and 30. Verse 31. "And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then shall these be troubled, bled, and kept silence through their power, and shall flee. And keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Syrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings," because it's going to be all-out war. Okay, and this is why here in Jeremiah 25, start at verse 27, says, "Therefore thou shalt say unto them," matter of fact, slide 24, it says, "And all the kings of Arabia and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert." Why? Because the word Arab means mixed. All right, behalf you so-called Muslim nations of the dragons of Arabia who will engage in this last world's war. All right, verse 25, "And all the kings of Zimri and all the kings of Elam and all the kings of the Medes." All right, modern day Iranians. Okay, they had us in slavery during the Medo-Persian Empire. So what's being prepared against you in regards to this, the destruction coming to you in the midst of this last world's war, is of the judgment by way of you heathen enslaving our people. Okay, Jeremiah 25 and 26, "And all the kings of the north far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And that sword that Yahweh Shemashah is sending upon you, the armies of you heathen, are these flying swords in Isaiah 34 chapter that will bathe the heavens before the warheads of those nukes. Those flying swords will detonate and leave a besom of destruction through that destroying wind and radiation through America, Babylon the Great, to purge this shit, this bitch, okay, of her filth, okay? Like it says in 2nd Ezra 6th chapter, man, corruption, corruption shall be quenched, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, it's going to diminish, all right, because the wicked covering cast through the hammer of the earth, America is going to be destroyed. Point blank, period. All right. Jeremiah 25 and 28, and it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shall they say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. You're going to drink this cup of indignation, man, his righteous anger, all right, through the plagues of the Lord, including the ultimate plague, the great millstone in Revelation 18, dealing with this last world's war, okay, of these hailstones that will fly and detonate within America, Babylon the Great. I'm gonna go back to the article, read it a little bit more, and that'll pretty much be it. Let me see. So, yeah, so that was essentially it. And then to mention what Russia gains here, which is really stability to further prevent America and NATO from further expanding eastward into their territory. The Russian gains come as continuing U.S. aid for Ukraine becomes far less certain. The U.S. Senate in mid-February passed a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel, with about $60 billion slated for Ukraine. But several congressional Republicans in the House of Representatives are opposing its passage. And speaking of Israel, the IDF just further targeted the Houthi rebels in Lebanon. Okay, it says, and that's why, it also reported the U.S. French Navy. That's like he said, the Houthis vowed to escalate Red Sea attacks, and this is Esau's propaganda. Yeah, so yep, Houthis rising terror in the Red Sea. Right now I'm watching WEON in the background. It says U.S. Iran continues to supply arms Houthis. So that's what they're spinning in the Western media. Houthi French U.S. French Navy shoot down Houthi drones, and this is why Dmitry Medvedev is threatening to to target you Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Of this alliance, on behalf of the Hammer of the Earth with nukes. Because if he had his way, if he was the president instead of Putin, this place would have been nuked. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. That's not in the will of the Lord. Okay, at this point, his will would includes Putin remaining there. So we'll see what happens with that situation. But all in all, these rumors of wars are further leading to the destruction of this place. Okay, because you devils keep poking the bear, Russia, and it will eventually respond in deadly fashion. And who they have on their side to aid with that response in deadly fashion? Iran with their deadly Fateh-110 missile. Okay, or Slakia, the Fateh-110 missile, the Fateh-110 missile model. Okay, that further lines up with Revelation 18, how America, Babylon the Great will be destroyed in just 1 hour, man. Okay, so back in Jeremiah 25 and 30, therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say to them, the Lord Yahweh shall roar from on high and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon this habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For the Lord Yahweh hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh, meaning he will judge them. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, said the Lord Yahweh. With these flying swords, these nukes. Thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of earth. All right, and no manner of judgment is more evil than this thermonuclear destruction that will consume the wicked in these last days. All right. Verse 33, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be at that day. So like in the slain of the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah shall be at that day from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground, feces, shit. Prison Revelation 11 and 8 says their dead bodies shall line the streets of Egypt. Figuratively and literally, man. Because people are in gross darkness, and that their inner death is going to manifest. Okay? When they meet their demise within the plagues of the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah. Okay? So this is where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Within this last world's war, man, the destruction that's coming to this place. All right. So I'm going to end it off at a note. Pray Prophetic updates for the edifying, exhorting to elect, and give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of living. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shabarach, Wadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this video. And with that, my Waslab Babal, all right, Wa Adawamium, Wa Gawadium, Wa Abibi Noah, all right, Wa Shabbat Shalom to the elect, and on to the next one.